Hello, do you like tower defense games? Do you like shooters? Do you like Orcs Must Die? Do you not know what that is? Do you like those third-person shooters? Well, don't I got a game for you. Wait, this is a review channel? Wait, what the fuck? Alright, welcome to Castle of Alchemists. It's a game that I don't have an addiction to. Shut the fuck up, and yeah. Castle of Alchemists. As you can tell, this game is a shooter and a tower defense. So, what exactly makes this different than others? Well, if you notice on the bottom of the screen, you know, on the bottom little corner, actually not really corner, bottom middle, it has little abilities. You can customize your character. It allows you to have more customization. So it's more than just first phase, you set up traps, and then second phase, you attack. You can build loadouts with your character, build specific traps that work together. Things like lightning and metal cling together, oil and fire work together, acid and explosives work together. And it's just finding all the combos and then making an omega combo where, like, there's acid traps in the air, flamethrowers are shooting, oil is being spilled from your grenades, and when everything works together, it's just, you feel like a god. And then you realize that the enemies, they're weak to fire, so then you're gonna bring other stuff, and then you bring this, and you bring that. Basically, rock, paper, scissors. You use what you have to counter what they have, and it just feels so fucking satisfying, especially when you four-skull it on the hardest difficulty. Castle of Alchemist. Holy shit. The gameplay, mwah. Absolute mwah. Again, it's like Orcs Must Die, but if it turned 2D. So, if you've played those types of games, you won't be out of your comfort zone. But I can say, with 100% certainty, if you like Orcs Must Die, or like the tower defense genre, you will 100% or 99% like this game. Castle of Alchemist. It's on Steam. Get it. It's like $20. You can usually get a discount. I got it for like 10. Alright, that was for people that needed just a quick summary if they should buy the game or not. If you're still here and still confused, and you like Orcs Must Die, or you like the tower defense genre, and you want to try something new, yes, absolutely, I recommend it. And if you're not 100% sure, just wait till the Christmas update or something. It usually goes on discount. The Christmas update? What the fuck? This winter sale. Or the summer sale. Winter and summer are probably the best times to get it. There are four things that I look at when I see a game. And I hope I'm not the only one. But when I see a game, these are in order. Gameplay, because that's why you bought the game. It's the gameplay. How does the gameplay feel good? And it is the main caveat for me. It is the big weight. If it feels like shit, I don't like it. I just leave. Second, the story. Yes, technically you can be like, yes, a video game story is like one in porn. You hope, it's like, if it's good, it's great, but it's not the main reason why you're there. But you're hoping that the two people that are doing it aren't awkwardly fucking, because then it would be very, very just, no. If you ever watch bad porn, you would know. 3, the sound design. Yes, sound design is in third, because that, with the gameplay, can make you feel something. Like, again, that soundtrack again, just make you feel like a badass for killing shit. And it's like, think Doom Eternal. Killing them is your symphony! You know, something like that. And then last is look. Reason why I say look is last, look at games like Half-Life, Counter-Strike, fucking Team Fortress 2, Plants vs. Zombies. Do they look the most best or newest in the group? Fuck no! But their look, they made themselves point out different from the crowd. And it wasn't just their look, it was also kind of how they played. Team Fortress 2 was the only hero shooter that wasn't dog shit. And it was kind of one of the only few ones. It was kind of like the Kickstarter for it. And, yeah. Counter-Strike was more competitive, more They each had gameplay was what drew people in. Their look made it where it had an identity. Because yes, look does also come to your identity. Like Call of Duty is known to be nitty gritty until they ruined it. But that still stands. Those are my 4. It goes if gameplay, story, sound design, and look. Those I feel like should be. Look should be your last of your priority. Don't worry, it's still part of the Force Horsemen. It's still important. But it isn't so important that you like, oh, let's only focus on look and yeah, we can sacrifice gameplay. No. Out of the 4, always sacrifice the look first. Or actually, sound design and look can be interchangeable. Because there are some games that are really fun, and the sound design just kinda sucks. If you want to know an example of that, well, I don't really know one. I was about to say Halo, but that is a crime against humanity if I said that. But basically, you don't need a god tier soundtrack, or you don't need a god Tattletale. Their soundtrack was nothing crazy. It seems like they focused more on the look than the soundtrack to Tattletale. Is the soundtrack bad? No. But is it like god tier? We're talking Halo, Doom Eternal, freaking Plants vs. Zombies. There's a zombie on your line. No, it's not. It doesn't even compare. So, yeah, that's the 4 Horsemen. Again, one last time. Gameplay, story, sound design, and look. Holy shit, I love gameplay. This is why I play the gameplay is fun, but it's not as simple at face value. Think of it like Team Fortress 2. Now, as you see my character's flying his mouse around, because those lead to 3 different areas, which we are about to go to, and show you what they're all for. Now the first area, this is just how you select rifles and you change difficulty. In the bottom left, you'll see a skull that you can toggle between in each of the levels, and if you perfect it, you get that little castle thing. Doing it on hardest difficulty doesn't add anything yet. Now over here, this screen is where you choose your traps. Not like normal traps, these are your secret traps. These are like your big boys, your big cannons. 3 rows, pretty simple. One is cannon, one is bow, and the others are very elemental. Well, you don't know the rest yet because they're not out yet. Now, as you see over here on the left side, these are your more smaller traps. These you can use in every level. There is walls, so you can kind of lure them to your area. Saw blades, spike traps, saw blades, flamethrowers, Tesla cannons. There's 3 types. Ones that go on top, ones that go on floor, and then ones that you can also place on the floor. But that's about it. There isn't really anything too crazy about it. It shows in the game that there are some that are on the walls, but to my knowledge there are none, and I completely beat the game. I don't know if there are any being worked on. There are more traps being worked on. As you can see, there's an extra 5, and technically each row is supposed to get 5 of the 4 variants. So yeah, we got a lot incoming, and it makes me more excited to see what's next. But that's basically this area. This area is your traps that you place. These you always get, and they're sort of like, these are your playing cards. So, like, think of this like blackjack, like not blackjack, but more like Uno. You set up your trap, you see what color's there, and you try to coordinate your colors to be able to slaughter the enemy better. That is basically the left side. Your always usable traps. That is the left. You can always use them. They're used everywhere. Different prices. But it's like your ability. You adjust to the situation. Crafting. It's very simple. This is where you craft your primaries and secondaries. As in, this is where you craft your said weapons. You have a ton of different options. You have primaries, secondaries, which primaries I'm turning to guns. Secondaries I'm turning to melees. And then you have your throwables or your traps, like your turret, your little throwable shit. This is basically your 1 through 4 buttons. This is where you find those items, this is where you purchase them, and this is where you just kind of find what you want, and there's rarities from 1 to 4, 4 being the best, 1 being dog shit. Half the time. Sometimes there's just 1 really good move on it, but it's so easy getting resources that half the time, if you want something cheaper, you half the time just want 3 or 4. I rarely use items that are 1 and 2, because half the time 4s and 3s are just so good, and you can get resources so easily, and I like that. But yeah, this is what this area is for. It allows you to kind of choose your items. Alright, the right side, the armory tab, as I like to call your inventory. There's the weight, There is your top left missile that you can choose between. There's only real damage dealer or freeze and deals damage. And syringes and balls of crack. Those seem to be your only things. Don't worry. The drug dealer that sells you these items are very reliable, because he's also the guy that practiced medicine inside you in the upgrade tab. You'll see later. But this is where you equip everything. This is your primary, your secondary, your abilities, and your bonus shit, which are some traps that you can put during the wave, but they disappear after for the next wave. This is just where you equip everything. It's very simple. Weight just tells you how big of a fat ass you are and how much shit are you able to carry. Are you a Skyrim character, or are you more like a Call of Duty character? I mean, my bad. That's a bad example. Are you a normal human fucking being, or are you a Spartan from Halo? Or maybe an Astartes? Yeah, that's basically it. That's just the side in a nutshell. And then the middle tab. This is where that drug dealer I'm talking about, who's these things called scientists. Who would have guessed? So this drug dealer does various things. On the left side, as you see, drug dealer actions. He ensnares you with toxins, and, adds more shit to you. Upgrades for yourself, and upgrades for your items. Left is yourself, right is your items, and traps, and abilities. And that's about it. That's seriously it. I don't know why this is any longer. It's that simple. Stop it! Oh my god, it's a story time. It's story time, everybody! Because if you didn't know, that was very important. Transition ended, I think. I don't know where I am. I don't know where I am. All I know is I must kill. Translate. There's like nothing on the story yet. It's still in demo. This is going to be about the soundtrack. Now the soundtrack, as you can hear a little bit, it seems the electric guitar is the main singer. Now there's drums and pipes, and depending on the song that you choose. But yeah, it's really good. It really gets you in the mood. If you're in a more intense scenario, you can feel it. Like when you're having all the guys, your traps are set up and everything else. And what the music is supposed to do, soundtrack, is enhance the scenario or make it feel like it's not more like, example, as they say in D&D, the party makes the soundtrack because of how it is or how they act. Well, a game is supposed to enhance how you're playing. And does the soundtrack do that in Castle of Alchemists? Absolutely. When you're starting to fight and it's midway, you got your trap set up and you put down your abilities and you get your melee out and you're shooting shit and you're throwing bombs. Yes, absolutely. It makes me feel like a super weapon that cannot be stopped and does not give a fuck who's in front of me. The fact is, you're getting inside my kingdom, so you're going to fucking die! Soundtrack is good. Me approve. Arthur, I just need $12,000 in taxpayer dollars. This is going to look really fucking good. I swear. Now graphics. As we all know, ICA is the least important out of the horsemen of graphics and game design and everything else. But graphics do have an importance. There's a reason why it's part of the four horsemen. It's more a part of its style or its charm. Example, games can have PlayStation graphics and still be really freaking good. There's a horror game about that's trying to do the PlayStation graphics. You have the Xbox and Halo's art style. You have freaking Team Fortress 2, which is more cartoony. Overwatch also is more cartoony. And this one is more pixelated with a more steampunk aspect to it. Because you're a genetically modified soldier in the steampunk age and magic, but we don't know anything about the art and enemies and blah, 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 blah. But the main point, does the art style support the game? As in, does it look pretty to the eyes? Does it actually look good? And the short answer is yes. It is a big yes. It looks good. That's the main point. It looks good, and it has its own identity. When I see Castle of Alchemist, I don't get it confused with something else. It's not like Call of Duty and a bunch of other shooters. Call of Duty used to have some identity, and then it tossed it out the window. That's besides the point. But yeah, long story short, it grabs the art style. It feels like it has one, and I feel like if I were to put it next to another 50 tower defenses or games like Pixel that are pixelated, if I grab the DS version of Plants vs. Zombies and then I grab Castle of Alchemist, I could easily tell the difference. The reason why I made that is because they both are pixelated. Art style, good. Update time. This is when we fix shit. The updates, they didn't add anything too crazy. Am I happy that they added the shit? Yes, I am. All they did was add some traps. They're working on these cool, like, boxing gloves, like fists. It's really cool. And their soundtrack that they're working on is pretty cool. They're still working on it because the game isn't finished. Duh. They're basically working on everything right now. Like, they're still working on bug issues and everything else. Nothing too major. But, yeah. The update, there's just an update that came out while I was editing this. And basically, yeah, they added a thing that drops like lava or whatever. You'll see as you play it. And yeah. Oh, something I forgot to mention in videos, but I can mention here, is I like in the updates, is they implemented into it very seamlessly. Like when an update where they add traps, they don't feel like oddballs, where you have to replay the level if you've already played it. You can just play with it if you have beat that level already. And they also give you like the Plants vs. Zombies like mystery in the fact that you don't know what's next, especially when updates, when they have enough levels, they overhaul like the map layout. You do not know what's next. You don't know what you're going to unlock. You don't know what's next. You don't know how to use it. And it's genuinely fun because you don't know what you're doing. Like when I was first playing, my loadout near the beginning is not the same as the end, because then I realized the saw blades were overpowered at the time. But even then, the saw blades are still really good. But my point still stands. You can experiment 10 ways to hell and have so much fun. But yeah, that's basically it. When it comes to like updates, there wasn't really anything too much. An update happened while I was editing this, so I figured I'd mention it. This is about the time when usually I rate it and give my said number and be like, should you play it? If you weren't paying attention, because I could make fun of my audience, because I have no audience. Alright, for a game made by 2 people, that's around $20, and then if you get it on like summer or Christmas sale, you can probably get it for like 10, 15, whatever. But for a game made by 2 people, around 20 bucks, if you pay it at full price, and you play the game through fully, do I think it's worth it? Absolutely. Do I think it's great at first? Well, at the first, it's trying to introduce you to the game. So, of course, like all tower defense games, it at first, like Plants vs. Zombies, is slow, but not like ridiculously slow. It's like the demo, again, the trailer, I mean, the tutorial feels like a tutorial, as in you wish after the first time you play there was a skip button and like things like that. But they're nothing too bad. You can just move on with your life. Like, I give it a decent, easy 7 out of 10. Like, there's clearly flaws. It isn't finished. The sound design is great, feels punchy, everything else. The music's great. The design, I feel like if I look at it next to other games, it can stand on its own. You have replayability in the traps and the RPG methods with the melee. I genuinely think this is a great game. And if you like the tower defense genre and the shooting in the first-person shooter genre or the third-person genre, I think you would really like this game. Thank you, and have a great day.
Please like and subscribe. Do it, you maggot! We can't let them breach the castle!